conferences, and we've had I've actually the student who had the big gigantic growth that started off. He had a bad email. He had we had a couple different parent meetings. When the person who I told that he's fired twice, we had a couple different parent meetings besides conferences. So yeah, I definitely do. We definitely share that information when we feel it is pertinent. And sometimes I have shared it when I emailed home and said, "I just got to tell you how impressed I am with your daughter, with how amazing that she's doing and things of that nature." So there have been those times as well. So it's not just on a negative basis.
And I think I can say pretty confidently, we've never had anybody fail, and we've never had anybody drop out. We've had people drop it like this week or next kind of thing when it first starts, but we've never had anybody get into it and drop out. Is that true?
2 years ago, we had someone who finished this term, and
Okay.
it was obvious fairly early on that this person was misplaced in the program because this person was unwilling to do really any kind of outside work and be independent at all. And that's what we're trying to teach, and we tried it for about 9 weeks, and it wasn't successful. And so we thought that maybe we should just cut ties. And so because there hadn't been, I think by the time 9 weeks happened, there wasn't even one information interview done. I mean, it was pretty bad. So I think one time we've had one person had to just stop, and that was a parent conversation of here's where we are, here's what we're doing. There were several of those conversations
Along the way.
along the way. Yes.
Does that happen on the mentor side too?
Oh, wow.
Mentor, or they move on, or
I have.
the doesn't work.
You know what? That it's the only time it's come up is someone has had the mentorship and they've finished out certain kind of hours, and we've had the conversations of them actually getting we've then helped them find a secondary mentorship. So instead of having that one be the main one, so we kind of coach you as how do you do this now? All right, so you have this relationship with this person, you have this kind of commitment, and if you're not signing a contract, you're going to be with this person for all this time. But yeah, there have been a handful of times, but typically that doesn't happen. We do our due diligence in talking with these businesses. There was one time when the person said yes, the person started, they were actually at Medtronic, person started, and about 4 weeks in, the person had maybe 15 hours. He said, you know what, I'm going back and visiting my family in China, and I'm going to be gone for 3 months. Okay, I'll be back in July. So we had to scrap that whole thing and start over. And so, we had to kind of roll the punches.
It's pretty rare
We're
though.
closing in on the 7 o'clock time for our
We are, I
parents,
know.
right?
And
I'm sure my pizza's probably getting here too.
So other questions before we leave this?
I'm assuming that there is only one grade for the semester, not two
For the
grades.
semester.
Yeah.
Correct. Yep. There will be a mid. See the third term 3 as like a midterm kind of grade.
On the back of this little
Yes.
Ricky, what, like, any kind of networking within my son's interest or generally?
If it could be generally, I mean it could be both.
And would that mean, like, if I knew a person who was specific to a certain thing, like personally, I could
Yep.
write this down?
Yes. And so we've had people who talked about graphic design, architecture, biomedical engineering,
Like,
all these different things.
I know a heart surgeon.
Yeah, exactly. So if you know that in the medical field, that you can say I have my neighbor or my whoever else is a heart surgeon. Someone else I know someone who's a lawyer. I mean, so obviously we know hundreds of people.
That's what we're going to segue into right now.
Yeah.
The pizza's here.
Okay, good. Yeah.
You get the pizza and I'll finish
So
that.
I'll get the pizza.
So what
And I'm going to be here for a while
So I
longer for any
drop
more questions.
names and that kind of thing?
if
Or
you
just-
have
or-
them, that would be great, or if you just say medical field, heart surgeon, or whatever you prefer to do. What we did in the past, is we put up flip charts and we had parents put their contacts on those charts. We've just not had to use them, so we said, let's just do it so that we get some information. If we need to reach out, we can do that. And if you've got specific areas, as I said, then when we collect those, we'll have that in our, kind of in as a resource right away.
That's right. Just our emails that you wanted.
Email, phone, just email, phone, your name on the front of the card, and then on the back, any networking connections that you might have related to the careers that you heard tonight. And again, we may just reach out with a blanket, we'll always blind copy so we're not exposing email addresses, but we'll just maybe reach out at points with a blind copy email to say, we're really stuck in this particular area, anybody able to help us? And then you can share that information with us. So we're gonna move on to, other questions for parents? Because we're really ready to dismiss you if you're satisfied. And we really encourage you, as Mark said along the way, to be in touch, My cards are here, his cards are here, please take one, don't hesitate to email or call if you have questions. And then we don't have, well, I do have the dates, but I don't have them in my head. The mentor fair will be either the very last week in May or the first week in June. And it'll be probably a different day this year because of the change in schedule. So, but we'll let you know that well in advance so that you can come to the mentor fair. Awesome, well, thank you so much for being here tonight. And thank you for sharing your resources and your students with us. Thank you. Awesome.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. I'm gonna hang out here, folks, and have you next questions.
Thank you. Okay, students, as we move into our next section, let's see, what do we have? 3, 4. Are you at a table with people you know? Okay, how about you? Do you know each other? Not really? Okay. I want you to be with people you don't know. So I'm going to ask you to get up. Can we just all like get at a big table? No, we need small groups for the activities we're going to do. I'm going to ask you to just move to places with at least one person that you don't know. And we'll do these 3 tables. Okay, that's good. And we want tables of 3.
There's gonna be more questions that come up with.
So you guys are going to have to go.
I know both of them.
Post your handouts right there, and you go for that, other kind of questions.
Who do you know?
What'd you say is your hardest class?
Exactly.
I know pretty much everyone here except for her.
So then let me ask you to go. You 3 know each other? Okay, that's all. That's good. And then, do you know these 2? Okay, good, perfect. Perfect, we don't want you to know people.
It's a concern. And Laura's a junior, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, for sure. But we also don't want to make it so stressful.
Both. I like home personality.
Yeah, like soft jokes or just dumb? I like soft jokes better.
Well, yeah, we'll sit down and do it when she comes in.
Okay, let me have your attention. Let me give you the direction, and then I'll ask you to go get your pizza, and you can do this activity. You can try to do it while you're having your pizza, okay? So we'll get you settled. Just that's okay. And what was your name?
Ryan?
Ryan. Okay. Just let me get you a name tag so I can. So what I want you to do, and again, and as soon as I give you the instructions, you get your pizza and then come back and actually do it, okay? We're gonna just do an icebreaker so that you get to know the people, and this is more or less of an introduction to networking, okay? It's a way to get to know people. There's lots of other ways, and we'll actually have somebody come in to talk about how to build a conversation with people you don't know. Give you some very specific steps that makes it really easy, some visuals and that kind of thing. But for tonight, what I'd like you to do, the index cards on your table, there's a stack on each table. Each of you take at least 1, probably 2 index cards. And again, this is after you get your pizza. And I want you to, somebody at the table, and just draw straws, somebody start a story. And I want it to be real. So something that's true, not a made-up story about yourself, okay? So for example, the first person might say, I locked myself out of my house, so I ended up spending the whole day in the coffee shop. And the second person then, so that's your part of the story. The second person then says, wow, I really love coffee. I drink 3 cups a day and it keeps me up at night. I don't sleep. And the third person may say, you know, I don't get much sleep because I play computer games. And the fourth person may say, I love computer games and whatever. The only one that comes to mind is Angry Birds. is my favorite. So do you see how you're gonna build a story? You're gonna build a story with the people at your table about yourselves. And it may not be related. Okay, somebody may say, I hate coffee, I never drink coffee, I only drink tea. And then tea leads to something else. Do you see, get the sense? Questions? Okay, so get your pizza, come back to your table, sit down and build your stories.
Do we write it on the note card?
I'm sorry, yes, I gave you the note card, so just put a few words, your story, just put a few
okay,
words
so
on the
like
card,
you would write
and
like
we'll
a
build the
coffee and
stories.
stuff.
Yeah.
I can spell it.
And then like someone for, and then someone will pick up like say.
What is the note card for? I have a comment. I like your suit.
Thank you.
Yes.
Or not you? I intentionally avoided eating before I came here.
Good substantial. They're really good for you too. Think of a story.
Is anybody familiar with this camera? How to pause it?